simply so I didn't burn my roux and the mac and cheese is off. Trust me, you're gonna love this. So the Havarti is nice and creamy. The white cheddar is sharp, and and our Parmigiano Reggiano gives that extra bit of body there. So our white cheddar is a little bit softer than our Havarti cheese. Again, I said I love campanile pasta because it just looks pretty. It looks nice. Elbow macaroni reminds me of, like, you know, mac and cheese from the box. Nothing wrong with those days when we were younger, but we're older now. We're grown. We can do big grown people shit. Cool. Rob, how we doing?
Doing good.
All right. So I'm gonna push these off to the side for just a moment. I'm gonna get my little prep bowl. Be right back. 1 second. One of my small prep bowls. And just kind of place that cheese off into my little prep bowl. Here, put it right there so you can see it. All right, put these bad boys together. And that water should be almost ready. Yeah. Gotta get that cheese set from that Mignon, everybody. This is a classy kind of situation. This is a classy place. Only the classiest of people. Yeah. All right. What else? So hopefully your steak is already out of the fridge. If it isn't, please pull it out right now. That's important. We want our meat to rest. Why do we want our meat to rest? Because, oh, look at that mountain of powder and lovely gorgeousness. Oh yeah. That's right, Rob. Give them a lower third that says mountain of lovely gorgeousness, or some kind of smart assness. I know Rob pulls in all kinds of smart guy stuff, wise guy cracks while I'm in the middle of cooking. I don't know why I bother making him food anyway. All right, everybody. So things that you can start thinking about in the way of your prep and getting ready for down the road in this cooking show is you want to make sure that we have your blackberry jam on standby. We only need about a tablespoon and a half of this, but it's still important to think about, make sure you have ready and holding on standby. Okay, so our water is almost ready. Make sure our wipe down our station, have our trash can or a makeshift trash can, anything like that, ready to go. So how about let's do this. Since our pasta water is almost ready, let us take our, let's move on to a different section for just a second, because we can skip ahead just a little bit. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take our parsnips. We're gonna wash them down. If you haven't washed them, please do so. I'm gonna give them a nice little rinse. Yay, parsnips. Okay, this is just the only thing we're gonna do for the next section, everybody. Just gonna do this one thing because we're kind of ahead of the game, which is great. I want to get us in and out in about 60 minutes. So I'm topping and tailing. Bang! Boom, done. Make sure you have your white chocolate. I'll show you what I have. We're not going to do anything else with that right now. I just wanted to let you know it's important that we have that on standby. Okay, taking my peeler. I'm just going to gently peel down to the white meat. Yep, pretty much. Easy as that. Yeah. And you know what? Since we're here, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want us to get mainly the white showing because I don't want these dark pieces to influence the color of our puree. Hell yeah, that looks great. Now, normally I like to have my butter on standby, like out and ready for me. I don't want your butter to be out right now. I want it to be still in the fridge and cold. So if you have your butter out, just return it back to the fridge. I'll tell you why in just a minute. Wow, fast, 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 fast. You go fast, that's how you make messes. And messes in the kitchen are fun because somebody else gets to clean it up. Hell yeah. All right, everybody. We're getting there, Ooh, our pasta water is ready. Our salt pasta water is ready. All right. And if you get things on the floor, you know what? It's Carol Baskin's fault. She killed her husband. You know that, right? Fed him to the tigers. We need to sign a petition today. Hey, Rob, put in that in the lower third. Sign a petition today to free the Tiger King. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. I make joke. I make joke. Let's cut that in half, and then slice that in half. So I just want some consistent pieces, more or less, because otherwise, if I don't make consistent pieces, some parts will get soft and other parts won't when we boil them. Actually, more like poaching in our cream and all that good stuff. Okay, cool. So wonderful. All right, everybody. Where are we? We are now at the time where it's ready to get camera 2, 3. Yep. Okay. Go in about a cup and a half of our elbow pasta. Or if you had campanelle pasta, that'd be fantastic. You know, there's a tendency for people to think they need to add olive oil to the water or some kind of oil to the water. No, that's not a thing. It's not a real thing. And the reason why is because we want that luxurious cheese sauce to wrap around our pasta, and if the pasta is slick and oily, then it won't grab onto it. The reason why we like to have rigatoni, we like to have campanelle, we like to have elbow pastas is simply because there's typically some kind of grooves on the inside, or some kind of texture, or some kind of topography, if you will. That's more land that surrounds your pasta, so that allows your cheese sauce to kind of grip it, gives it yes, contour. That's what we're looking for. Beautiful. Okay. All right, everybody. So let's go on our timer quickly here for, let's say, 7 minutes. And we're going to test it in 7 minutes. I think that gives us a moment to just kind of hang out for a second. If you have any questions, now is the time to go to the. Let's go to the phones. Let's take callers. No, we're not taking callers. No, call 1-800 Dinner with Yves. That's too many numbers. Damn. I tried. I really wanted to give you something. Okay, cool. That's going. Rob, let's go to black. Let's let them have a little bit of music to get into the mood, and I will see you guys in about a minute and a half. Cool? I'll see you in a second.
And on you.
Those jams are cool. I like that. I'm gonna give you a quick. I'm coming back for just a second. Pasta is still fine. We got about 4 minutes left. I'm just kind of prepping and setting some things up. What I need you to think about is like a prep bowl. I'm gonna get like a bowl here like this, and another sauce pot or a pan. What we need to do is a sauce pot or pan is for melting our white chocolate. Our prep bowl is to put the pasta in for just a moment, and that's it. Cool. I'll give it just a few minutes. We're gonna go right back, and when we come back, we're gonna start testing and tasting our pasta to make sure we're ready to go. Need to have some butter out of the fridge, maybe like a half a stick. Don't get a full stick. I'm still need some of it in the fridge, so get that now. We'll start making our sauce in a moment for our cheese sauce. Cool. I'll see you in a second. Okay, back on me. Leave it down. Beautiful. Wow, okay, good. I just checked my pasta. The pasta is almost ready. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on our cheese sauce. So we're gonna go straight for 1 tablespoon of our cold unsalted butter and a little bit of pepper. Have your panko breadcrumbs on standby. Let's go on heat. Let's go camera 3. Let's go heat on, as if we have that many cameras anyway. Let's go heat on, and we're gonna go to about a 4, so just below medium. We're gonna go 1 tablespoon of butter in. We do a touch of butter, of butter and a touch of pepper. I'll say a touch, it sounds like it's a lot, but we're really looking for like a quarter of a, about a quarter of a teaspoon, or a little bit less than that, maybe a 1/5. Get our seasoning right. Okay, waiting for that timer to expire. Excellent, so that's our timer for our pasta. Put our tasting spoon into the water. We want it to be just a little bit under, so a little bit firmer than you might normally have it. Perfect. We're going out. So my pasta is ready. And I just killed one of the most important things.
Tiger.
Good job, Yves. Good job. So we want a little bit of water, a little bit of our sea salt water, because we're going to use that to also season our pasta rather than putting a whole bunch of salt into the pasta. So That's cool. That's hanging out. We have a little bit of time to let that come back to a boil. I'm sorry, everybody, that I just told you to dump all that water out. That was a very silly thing for me to do. But back to our cheese sauce. Put another tablespoon, so about a half or 2 tablespoons now of butter. And as soon as that starts changing color, you see how it's not brilliant white anymore. That the pepper is giving a nice, nice good brownish color. What we're doing is we're wanting that pepper to bloom, take the heat out of that pepper and get the sweetness to come out of that black pepper. All right, cool. Have your, I need you to go ahead and get your cream, heavy cream, and your milk. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take that, put it into your measuring cup, about a quarter of a cup of heavy cream and a quarter of a cup of milk. That's nice. That is absolutely lovely. Now, the reason I like to use half milk and half cream, because the cream gives us that nice thickness, but I don't want to use an entire like half cup or a whole cup, depending on how much we're making. I don't want to use that much for our heavy cream for our cheese sauce. So I'm going to pour that right in. That's in. Here we go. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So the reason we don't want warm water, the reason we don't want warm butter is because we don't want our butter to separate. We want it to emulsify with that milk, as opposed to just looking like oil on the top of that, perfect, oil on the top of that milk. All right, we're getting there. I'm gonna turn the heat up to about a 5, because now I'm gonna start putting in our pasta. And let's see, we're almost there. Yeah. And so as it gets warmer, it's gonna start to concentrate. It's gonna thicken a little bit more. The reason I didn't want to do a roux is because a roux, again, like I said, if we burned our roux, I don't want us to have to start over again. And you're not necessarily here to be able to ask that kind of question. So it looks like it's starting to thicken a little bit. And now, yeah, you see it's like really small micro bubbles there. So now we're going to go to our pasta. Bring our pasta back into the mix. So now I want you to pour your water, your salted water. It should already be nice and boiled and hot, because I didn't give you that much water, just a little bit. What I did was I didn't explain it very well, and I apologize for that. But I just kind of realized, oh, I poured the water out, all of it. All I did was I took a cup of water and poured it back into my pan and just added salt to it, and let it come back up to a boil. So we're going to use this water, not all of it, but we're going to use it. Okay, it's a half cup. Okay, so we use that. Temperature off. Let's come over here. Let's move this Dutch oven or pot, large pot, whatever you have, over to my larger burner. We're gonna go in. Oh yeah, it's bubbling now, getting thicker. Go in with my pasta. And in with my cheese. How are we doing, Rob? We good?
You're good. We got a frozen camera.
Uh-oh.
If you can give camera 3 a little love tap.
No?
Fix it during the commercial.
Yeah, fix the commercial.
Beauty of live stream.
Right, exactly. So I'm putting on my Parmesan in, just kind of like slowly but surely putting in our cheese at a good ratio. Yeah. Let it kind of melt before I put in anything else. So I do want this to be a little bit saucy, not too saucy, because we're going to go into the oven with this mac and cheese here in a moment, or later, excuse me, as we get closer to the finish line, because I'm going to add some panko breadcrumbs, a little bit more cheese on top. So I want it to be a little bit saucy, because the oven will dry it out a little bit. Oh, buddy. Can they see anything or no?
It's just frozen.
It's frozen?
Yeah.
Shit. Here, we go.
Sorry, I'll fix it in the commercial.
I'll bring it out here. It's fine. Oh, you on me? Is that what
Yeah,
it
I'm
is?
on you.
You on me? Gotcha. Let's bring it. We can always fix things. No problem. No worries. Is that better?
Yep.
All right. Oh. And I know exactly what this is going to taste like. It's going to be incredible. So, in with a little bit of our salted water. Just a little bit. All right. So Rob's fixing one of our cameras here. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the other one that's overhead. But that's all we're doing right now, everybody. We're just making our mac and cheese. But let's get our fork out. Let's go for a taste. Taste. I know you want to try. I know you want to try. If we need to, we'll add some salt. We need a little bit of salt. Not a whole lot. A little bit. And maybe a little bit more cheese as well. So, thank you, Rob. Okay, let's go in with like a little bit more, creamy Havarti. How about that? Reader? It's all about, combining, or as I say, getting your ratios right. And to me, I like my mac and cheese, my elevated mac and cheese, to be a little bit more on the creamy and balanced side. Some people like theirs to taste sharper, and that's fine. But you don't want a whole mouthfeel of a bunch of like a whole woolly mouthfeel of like Reggiano or Pecorino. So that's what we're doing. We'll throw a little bit more pepper in there. Remember, salt enhances the flavor, and pepper changes the flavor. All right. I'm gonna open up that. There we go. Cool. Let's taste. Time to taste. Always taste.
Camera 3's back on.
Okay, cool. Oh, that is the bomb. Thebomb.com. Check it out.
Can't feed the iPad.
Hell yes. Okay, cool. So I told you I had like a little casserole dish, or a little small dish, or small. If I didn't tell you that, then I'm sorry. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to spoon out. Oh, look at that. How sexy that is. Love you, baby. The spoon. We're going to spoon out our pasta here into our little casserole dish. Or for me, this is a little tart dish. I use this for pastries. So, yay, pastries. Yeah, look at that. This is like a perfect personal size. Well, maybe a little more than personal size. This is Yves size, and this is Rob's size. All right, no reason you can't have fun, everybody. Okay, here we go. All right, look at all that ooey gooey loveliness. If you're not excited already, you must not like food, and I don't understand that, because this is food. It's really good. All right, told you we can go extravagant this time, everybody, because you've been so good with me to work with me and do chicken and fish that are not as expensive. Exceptional. Let's get your breadcrumbs on standby. What we're going to do is hit this with a touch of breadcrumbs and just let it hang out here, because it's time to move on in just a moment to the rest of our garnish prep. And this is for the face. Yay, face. This goes off. All right. Here we are. Breadcrumbs. All right, everybody. Breadcrumbs. Panko. Panko! All right. And we're going to hit this in the oven so that we can get a nice little crunch and texture. Because what's the fun of food if we don't have a bunch of different flavors, textures, and aromas happening all at once? So panko breadcrumbs, we're gonna hit it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese or Parmigiano Reggiano shortly. But I can tell you right now, I'm already excited. Hell, I can eat that. Done. Dinner with Yves is done. That's it. All we're having. That's it. Okay. All right. I'll put these off to the side. I'm gonna hang out over there, and I think, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some Q&A. So if you have any questions, go ahead and throw it to me right away in the Q&A box. And I'll give you a moment to do that. But you know what? While you ask questions online, we're gonna go to a nice, lovely commercial break. Before we do that, I wanna let you know that every single business that you see that is in part of our commercial role, they are all people that I am close to, that I know, I've known for years. I love them dearly, and I've done business with them. And so I know with certainty that their business is something that is worth you engaging with. They're local Texas businesses, so I love them dearly, and I think that you will, if you like me, then you'll love them. I mean, because I'm kind of a jerk, but they're wonderful people. All right, guys, I'll see you in just a minute, about 3 minutes. I'm gonna wipe down, reset for our sauce prep. Yes, our sauce prep. So that's it. See you in a second.
Is your business short on IT talent? Do you struggle with digital transformation, vendor management, or managing your IT infrastructure, software applications, networks, security, and other important technologies? If you answered yes, you'll love the FCS Client Enablement Portal. FCS works directly with providers who can help you with these complicated technology issues. With more than 30 years of IT experience, FCS has the connections you need. The Client Enablement Portal is the first of its kind in the IT trusted advisory industry. It allows customers to work with over 280 providers and more than 75 different product sets. Here's how the portal works. To start, simply fill out a discovery form and the FCS team of engineers begins looking for the best provider to meet your specific needs. You can look through battle cards and marketing materials and request a warm introduction with the click of a button. Once a match is made, you can connect directly with the provider and create billing and technical tickets with one login. During a project, you can bring your entire organization together with the live project management feature and track active orders. The portal also takes the stress out of billing. With active bill monitoring, FCS proactively sends billing tickets to providers once a billing threshold has been exceeded. Perhaps most importantly, the Client Enablement Portal is backed by a trusted advisory firm that is motivated by long-term relationships. It's a combination that can make a significant impact on your business's greatest challenges. Managing your day-to-day operations can be difficult enough. Don't source your IT needs alone. Let FCS and the Client Enablement Portal be a trusted extension and organizational tool for your IT department.
Hi, I'm Nancy Messia, also known as Fancy Nancy, and I've been in the real estate business for over 15 years. I've worked for new home sales as well as a realtor and interior decorator. Being an interior decorator and realtor provides me with a little bit of advantage in the marketplace. I can use added furnishings, staging, and other things to spruce up your home to ensure we are getting the best value for your money on your sold home. Working as an assistant to a builder in the past has given me a very solid understanding of that side of the industry as well. I love working with new builds as well as pre-existing homes and luxury homes, and I do some relocation. My number one goal is to make sure you are happy and not stressed. I understand that you're not buying a dress, you're buying a house, and this is your most important investment. You will not feel any pressure when working with me. I constantly stay in contact with my clients even after the transaction is closed. Most of my clients actually turn into my really good friends. 95% of my business is referral-based, and that is because I build relationships with my clients, and most of them relate to me, and as I said before, they all become my friends, and we are living just fancier together. As an extra bonus, I like to provide interior tips and tricks to all my homeowners. You can find this on my YouTube channel and Facebook. It's regular living, just fancier.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna work on that sauce and the parsnip puree. We're gonna get these things kind of ready to go. Because honestly, the easiest thing to do are those steaks. Those steaks don't take long at all. I mean, it's a couple minutes, one on each side, and then butter basting, and then in the oven for, I don't know, maybe between 8 to 10 minutes maximum, depending on the size of your steak. So, having said that, here are the things we need to get ready to go. Let's go ahead and take our steaks and just start seasoning them, and let our salt and pepper just kind of hang out there on our steaks. I got some beautiful, some luxurious center cut filet mignons. If you can see, the marbling is just perfect. It's not too much and it's not too little. Butcher did a pretty decent job of getting rid of some of the silver skin. What was I gonna say? The filet mignon or the beef tenderloin is just that really extravagant cut because it's the leanest, but it has enough little marbling here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give us a nice little generous amount of salt and pepper on both sides of the steak. Now, it might seem excessive, but believe me, if you consider how thick and how tall these steaks are, it's actually not as much as you think. So we want to give it enough seasoning so that salt and pepper goes through all the way through to the bottom of that and throughout the center of that steak, that filet mignon. All right, everybody. That was salt. Let's go on with pepper. Is my big old fat head in the way, Rob, or am I good?
You're good.
Okay. How we doing, everybody? I know you're doing well. I know you're doing well. I've seen your pictures online. I've seen your YouTube story, or your Instagram stories. It's very incredible. I love watching you do what you do. All right, so that's enough. It's about enough good coating on the front and good coating on the back. When it comes down to it, we're going to put our pan on high heat. We need a non-stick pan, not right now, but later. A non-stick pan for our quick flash in the pan. Give her a nice browning. Get that Maillard reaction where the enzymes and the sugars meet the heat and give us that caramelization. All right. Those are some sexy, wonderful looking steaks. Thank you to Central Market, Austin, Texas. Holding it down for us. I love that store because it always has the freshest and most incredible produce department. Okay, I'm gonna let that hang out on the side. Get some rosemary and thyme. I love rosemary. This is actually from my herb garden outside. I love getting to use fresh herbs that I get from the house. Okay, now it's time for our magic sauce. Which one are we doing? I don't know. Shit. So we've already peeled actually our parsnips. So we're gonna go over to our range. What I need you to get is our milk, reduced fat milk, and our cream. So what I'm looking for is about maybe 6 to 7 ounces, maybe even 8. So divide that by 2, so about 3.5 to 4 ounces of our milk and 3.5 to 4 ounces of our heavy cream, because that is what's going to poach our parsnips. So basically, we really just want to cover our parsnips in our liquid. Now, we're gonna, right before it comes to a boil, we're gonna reduce the heat. So I have it at about 6 right now, so that we can bring that heat up. We don't want it to come to a rolling boil because we don't want our cream and our milk to burn. That would be like a no-no. That would make baby Jesus cry. We don't want that. Rob, where's my knife? Oh, yeah, over here. So, now we need our shallot. We're gonna slice our shallot. Shallot, as the Brits say. Now, while we wait for that, I'm going to open up this shallot. Keep our nice clean workstation. You all right? Rob's dying over here on me, everybody. If he dies, this show is completely over. That would be a terrible thing. Okay, I'm just removing the first layer. Yeah, there we go. That's it, baby. Oye, chico, qué feo. Mira esa cosa. Okay, all right. Ooh, yes. It is so lovely. All I'm gonna do, remember latitude. Jesus. Latitude. I'm gonna cut that down the center. It's actually very slippery. Down the center and cut it all the way in half. So I'm just gonna use just one piece of shallot. Where is my cut? There it is. Boom. Perfect. Leave that slimy piece over there. All right. Now I'm gonna try to let these big ass hands and fingers not take up the entire lens. So here we go. Let's go in tight. We're going in. Okay. So what we're doing, I'm going to make some nice, maybe 1 centimeter slices, not all the way to the end, like almost like 5, 6, 7/8 the way. Whatever fraction you like. I was never good at math. I think that 1 + 1 is 9. So, okay. Be sure to check on your cream. We don't want it to burn. Okay, cool. Just like so, all I've done is taken my knife and gone through the center of it, not to the very back, but towards the back. I'm gonna slice and go down, do some nice little chops, semi-fine chop, semi-fine dice, excuse me, on our shallot. Okay. So, Sabe, do you understand? Is this, you know? You got it? You got it? You got it? Okay, cool. All right. Back to our cream. Yes. And have your white chocolate on standby. So what I bought is some like Baker's white chocolate. We're gonna use about probably like about, let's see, this is an ounce. That's 2 ounces. So we'll probably just use 2 ounces. Yeah, 2 ounces. Cool. All right. And as soon as that comes to a nice little rolling boil, we're going to take our parsnips that we already cleaned and sliced. And actually, let's do this. Let's take these bigger pieces and break them down into a little bit smaller pieces, because we have some pieces here that are small, pieces here that are really big. We just want them to cook evenly. All right. What's next, everybody? What's on deck next, everybody? Did that. We did sear steaks. All right. Man, we're trucking right along. It might not seem like it, but trust me, we are getting close. We are getting close. Okay. Look where our milk is, or our cream situation. We can go up on our temp just a little bit, so we can get there a little bit sooner. And then we're gonna back our temperature off. All right. I hope that you are following along at home just nicely. These shallots are gonna be for our incredible red wine and blackberry jam reduction sauce. So next, what I want you to do is go ahead and get your, put this down, I don't need to hold that. I need you to go ahead and get your nonstick pan and put it on the range, because we're gonna go in with our steaks for just a moment. And I also need you to get a resting tray or a plate, because we're just gonna sear those off for a moment and then put them in the pan, because the pan's gonna go into the oven. Cool, all right. Pan on. All right, okay, cool. All right, so here we are. So we're just at almost at a rolling boil on our milk, so I'm gonna turn that down. On camera 3, help me. Turn that down. Yeah, it's right before it boils, it creates a little film over the surface. That's how we know that we're right about ready. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in. What I want us to do, let's go for about let's say 4 minutes on the timer. I brought my temperature down to about 4, excuse me. Let's go on to our timer for about 4 minutes. Remember, I'm trying to get you in the habit of using a timer so that over time, you will get more and more comfortable with the passage of time without using an actual physical timer. Fantastic. Cream goes away, and now we're gonna go straight for our steaks. So go on to a high, super, super high. I mean, this is the highest it'll go. We want that pan to smoke. It's 4:20 already. No, we want the pan to smoke, not you.
4 days.
4 days. All right. Yes. I'm looking at the on camera 3 here on the range. I'm looking at this parsnip situation here. I do need you to do one thing for me. I'll back up. Let me know. Mm-hmm. Okay. I do need you to do one thing. I apologize in the prep sheets that I forgot to tell you. We do need a blender. If you have a stick blender, like an emulsion blender, that's fine. I use those a lot. But actually, this time I want you to grab a like a smoothie blender, or like a liquid blender. I forgot to mention that, but we're gonna need that. That's how we're actually gonna turn that cream and parsnip into a, well, puree. Cool, so grab that while that pan gets nice and burning hot, scorching hot. And I'll be back in less than 10 seconds, so just stay on the prep area. I'll be right back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yay! All right, everybody. Where's the lid? Oh, the lid's right there. We'll watch the lid on the commercial break. Everybody. Okay. So we should be feeling some good heat now from our pan. Should be nice and scorching hot. Yup. I'm going to put the smallest amount of oil. Let's get our steaks and bring it close to us. 2 phases on this steak. The first phase, pardon. The first phase, we're going to do a little bit of oil in that pan, just a little bit of our vegetable oil, not olive oil. The smoke point, as we say, remember the flash point is lower than vegetable oil. So about 1.5 tablespoons, maybe a tablespoon total. And it's already shimmering. Perfect. We're going to go in with our steaks. Okay? What I want is, yes. I'm bringing it down to about 8, almost 8. All right? One is in. The second one is in. Get your aromatics. That will be your garlic, your rosemary, and your thyme ready. So we're going to go about a minute on the steaks on one side. Butter ready. Because we're going to butter baste as we have before. Butter baste, butter baste, butter baste. Everybody. We don't need to mince our garlic. We just need to open it up so we can get those flavors along with that rosemary and thyme. Take your spoon. And let's just lift that up, the back side of it up to see how we're doing. Oh yeah, look at it. You see that? That caramelization is looking wonderful. Okay. Bring us down now to about a 7, and we're going to turn our steaks over. Oh yeah, that's wonderful. Ooh. That was very aggressive. Wonderful. Down to a 7, off with our timer. Bring your fork, your work fork here. We're just going to puncture our parsnips. And they're not ready yet, so that's okay. We're going to go up a little bit higher on our temperature on our parsnips. So about a 5, maybe a 5.5. Because it's not cooking at the speed that we want, but that's all right. I'd rather cook slower than cook too fast. Okay, here we go. Rosemary in, thyme in. Bring it towards the bottom of your pan. Yep. Here we go. Garlic in. Butter in. So that's 1 tablespoon of butter. Here we go, everybody. Tablespoon number 2 in. I brought my temperature down because I don't want my butter to burn. All right. Meaning I don't want it to get too brown too quick, or black for that matter. Now, after we're done butter basting here, everybody, we're gonna save this, save what's in this pan. Not the aromatics, but we're gonna save what's, we're not gonna clean the pan just yet, because we want the jus, or the essence of what the beef is here, we want that for our sauce. Oh yeah. Okay, time to turn. Put that down, drop the steaks down on their sides. You're just going to quickly hit them with a little bit of butter basting and rolling to their sides. We can get some color on their sides too. But not to worry, because these are nice big old thick boys. If you have thin steaks, if they're not tall, they're not thick, then I urge you to not overcook these, so that is to say, cook them for too long in the pan, because we're going to still cook them in the oven. Parsnips are rocking and rolling. We're doing some good butter basting, and in just a second, I'm going to turn this heat off, and I'm going to go straight for the pan. Okay. So our parsnips are doing well. Now they're kind of starting to a rolling boil. I'm going to bring the temperature back down so it's not so aggressive. All right. Okay, so the reason why, I'm sorry, I apologize. Let's go back. Heat off. Heat off for our steaks. Let's get a resting tray. Put it right here so we can see it. Resting tray goes right here. And this one is going to be the perfect one. Rob, that's for you because I want you to have all the nice things in life. And butter goes on top of our steaks. That way that seasoning goes on top there as well. Thyme goes out. It can go on top, no big deal. Don't worry, be happy. Take our spoon if there's any like little pieces there. All right, so we're going to check on our parsnips right now. Sorry, switch it out. So put the resting tray off the side. That's going to hang out for a second. We don't need them necessarily right this second to go in the oven, so we're okay. Don't worry. I would have told you to put the oven on. In a moment, I'll tell you to put the oven on though. So let's see where we are. Okay, we're nice and soft now on our parsnips. The reason I know, let me just pull this out so you can see how easily the fork is going into it. Pull one of them out for you. Oh, yikes, it's hot. Okay. So you see how easy that fork just punctures and penetrates? Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that, I'm going to go heat off for the moment. It's still like a touch firm, but if I let it rest there for a second inside the hot stewing temperature of the milk and cream, then it'll be fine in just a moment. That gives me plenty of time to get ready for our steak sauce. Shallots are going to go in. Remember, there's no heat, and that's okay. I don't need it. I'm just letting the shallots hang out off my board. I need my board back. Give my board back. Okay. All right, let's clean up our board for a second here. And we're going to move on to our blackberry jam and wine reduction. So let's keep a piece of garlic. Yeah, a piece of garlic would be nice. Okay, wonderful. All right, while that does its thing, the next step for us is to talk about steaks. On me? Well, next thing to do is wipe your head off, son. So, contrary to popular belief and the bullshit you see on Google, steaks are not pink and then gray. If you want to have a perfect steakhouse experience, then if you go to a steakhouse and they don't ask you and speak to you in color terms, then they're a bullshit steakhouse. I know I'm about to get killed and murdered for that, but bring on the hate, baby. No, here's what I mean. If they don't ask you by color, as if to say, here's what a medium rare actually is. It's seared on the outside, which what we did, and it's warm red throughout, right? A super rare or ultra rare, or rare is seared on the outside, cool red. Like you can see like almost kind of like the blue of the steak. It's just really just walked through a warm kitchen. So a medium rare is seared on the outside, warm red throughout. A medium is warm red center and pink to the edges, that beautiful sear and char on the outside. Medium well is a slight pink throughout. And that's as far as we go. Because if you want a well done steak, I'm not your guy at all. But you know how it goes from there. From there, you just take the temperature up till you see no pink at all. But this is a luxurious cut of steak, so there's no reason to go anything beyond a medium. Tonight, we're doing a medium rare because that's how you should do a filet mignon. Medium rare, seared on the outside and warm red throughout. All right, everybody, time to get to your what's this called? Our white chocolate parsnip puree. Yay! Plugging in our blender, going in with our parsnips. Now we have to do this quickly because it's hot, it's warm already. If you try and blend this after it's cold, the flavors will never come together. So you have to do it while it's warm. I'm taking this out first and out of the pot and onto my board because I don't want to get too much cream. We're going to use some of this cream for our puree, but I don't want to use too much. So we're going to go in to our blender. Nice, hot. Hot, it's very hot. It's very hot. Hope y'all had an incredible Easter. I know we were off for quite some time. I think it's a week. Yeah, we're off for a week, and now we're back. Okay, so that's about a good solid. Let's say that's, I don't know, quite a few ounces. Let's say that's like 3 ounces. Normally, I would melt my white chocolate in advance. But since we didn't do that, because someone wasn't smart enough to do that, I think we'll be okay, to be honest with you, because all this stuff is just so hot already that it won't take long for that to melt. But the reason we want to melt our chocolate is because what happens in the heating process when you add heat to chocolate, that sweetness becomes more alive and it's not so concentrated, and our flavors just get to meld more. It's more active. It's more it's activated. Excuse me, should I say? So let's go in about an ounce at a time, taking our cream and pouring it into our puree. Perfect. About an ounce or just under that. We don't want our puree to be too thin. So we're going to a puree whip. So I can tell that I didn't use enough. And that's okay. I'd rather be under than over, because over means we'll be too thin. So I did about another ½ ounce. So that really does take us honestly to about an ounce and a quarter maybe. And with one of our white chocolate sticks. So that's an ounce. shake it. Better shake it. This is the fun part, everybody. This is the fun part. Because honestly, you taste this, you're gonna lose your fucking mind. Sorry.
Language.
Language! You taste this, you're gonna lose your mind. You're like, wow, is this going to my steak for real? There we go. About a half ounce of our cream. Yeah, half ounce of our cream. So we're maybe close to 2 ounces. We're getting close, but I don't want too much because we can't go backwards. We use all of our. Okay, here we go. Let's add a little bit of salt. Yep, salt, that's right. Savory and sweet, everybody. Savory and sweet. So 2 small pinches of salt. Whip again, and we're going to taste. Okay, it's not the consistency we want yet, but I do want to taste it, see where we are. Fuck me, that's incredible.
Language.
Language! So an actual measurement is called a scotch. No, it's not. We're doing a scotch of. Yves, when do you use the word scotch? Never in life until today. All right, a scotch of our cream milk blend. So all in, we really only use about an ounce of our white chocolate. And that's good. Still need to go a little more. Yeah, we'll go a little more on our, about a quarter of an ounce on our white chocolate. I just added some more white chocolate. Looks like it's about almost pretty awesome. Or as Larry David would say, pretty good. Well done. Okay, taste. Yep. A little bit of salt. And maybe just a touch more cream. Very little bit. I mean a micro scotch. What I'm tasting is the earthiness of our parsnips. I'm getting the sweetness from the white chocolate, and I want a little bit to touch more savoriness. That's all. I want a little bit smoother. If you really want to get sexy with it, a touch of butter and a little small light hit of olive oil to make it even silkier. All right, when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. All right. That is what we call jam. Ooh, baby. Rob, let's see what you got.
Fuck.
I pay language. I pay him to say all these things so that you can be like, oh, he must be really doing really well in there. No, I'm really just making shit up as I go. Not this though. I stole this from somebody. I stole this particular recipe from somebody for the white chocolate parsnip puree. Okay, into a prep bowl, our white chocolate parsnip puree. You know what's a crying? I'm on me.
Yeah, I'm on you.
What's a crying shame is that we're really just going to use like a spoonful of this, or two maybe. All that hard work for just a spoonful or two. But you know, Mary Poppins said a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Fuck, that's incredible. To the side, to the window, to the wall. The sweat drops off my forehead. All right, doing great, everybody. Hope you're excited. So here's what we're gonna do. Now let's move on to our, let's go ahead and prep right now. Time for ovens to go on high broil. Ovens on, high broil. Okay. I think it's almost time. Yes, so here's what we're gonna do now. Now all that's gonna happen, we're gonna take our shallots, or shallots. We are gonna take our red wine and our jam, our jammy jam. If you saw it on Facebook earlier today, I made that fresh blackberry jam. Homemade blackberry jam. It really doesn't require much. So what shall we do first? Let's do a little bit, and I mean a very, like less than 1/8 of a teaspoon of oil into our pan. Yes. And we're gonna let our shallots rock and roll here. I'm gonna steal some of our rosemary. We go in pans to go on about a medium, or just above medium. Let's go to say 5.5, almost 6, or just above the medium dial, depending on if you have a gas or an electric range. If you have garlic, let's get your garlic press ready. Ready to fire that bad baby up. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use our garlic press to do a little. Damn it, Carol Baskin, it's your fault. I'm gonna do a little bit of garlic into our pan to commingle, hang out, mix around with our buddy here, Mr. Shallot. Okay. Have some thyme. Put that thyme in there as well. Time? We ain't got no time. We have no time. So hopefully you're starting to see that, you know, even though we're doing a bit of work here, it's really going to pay off in a minute because it's really just beginning to come together. So just kind of swirling our flavors around here. Might get a little bit more time. What we're going to do, and add it to our pan here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tablespoon and a half shortly of our blackberry jam. But first, what will our hero do next? But first, we're going to add our wine and let our wine reduce. All right, so get ready for commercial time, everybody. Wine, our very, very expensive and luxurious Mignon, or San Simon, our $3 cooking wine. What, you thought I was going to use Camus? Get out of here. $200 bottle of wine for some sauce. All right. So I've gone in with our red wine, probably about, I'm going to reduce the heat. I'm going to reduce it down to about a 4 or just below medium. We want that to kind of reduce down by almost halfway. So I've done like 2 ounces. I might go in just a little bit more, closer to 3, because I want that red wine to interact with that jam. Okay, everybody. In just a minute, when that reduces down, I'm gonna bring you, put that that jam in there, let that hang out, and we're gonna add some chicken stock, and at the very end a little bit of butter. We're almost there, everybody. So I'm gonna, if you have any questions, hit up the Q&A chat box on the site, dinnerwithyves.com/beef-tenderloin. But for now, I'm gonna let you see and hear from some of my really good friends who are great business owners. And with that, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hi, I'm Nancy Messia, also known as Fancy Nancy, and I've been in the real estate business for over 15 years. I've worked for new home sales as well as a realtor and interior decorator. Being an interior decorator and realtor provides me with a little bit of advantage in the marketplace. I can use added furnishings, staging, and other things to spruce up your home to ensure we are getting the best value for your money on your sold home. Working as an assistant to a builder in the past has given me a very solid understanding of that side of the industry as well. I love working with new builds as well as pre-existing homes and luxury homes, and I do some relocation. My number one goal is to make sure you are happy and not stressed. I understand that you're not buying a dress, you're buying a house, and this is your most important investment. You will not feel any pressure when working with me. I constantly stay in contact with my clients even after the transaction is closed. Most of my clients actually turn into my really good friends. 95% of my business is referral-based, and that is because I build relationships with my clients, and most of them relate to me. And as I said before, they all become my friends, and we are living just fancier together. As an extra bonus, I like to provide interior tips and tricks to all my homeowners. You can find this on my YouTube channel and Facebook. It's regular living, just fancier.
Michael.
Is your business short on IT talent? Do you struggle with digital transformation, vendor management, or managing your IT infrastructure, software applications, networks, security, and other important technologies? If you answered yes, you'll love the FCS Client Enablement Portal. FCS works directly with providers who can help you with these complicated technology issues. With more than 30 years of IT experience, FCS has the connections you need. The Client Enablement Portal is the first of its kind in the IT trusted advisory industry. It allows customers to work with over 280 providers and more than 75 different product sets. Here's how the portal works. To start, simply fill out a discovery form and the FCS team of engineers begins looking for the best provider to meet your specific needs. You can look through battle cards and marketing materials and request a warm introduction with the click of a button. Once a match is made, you can connect directly with the provider and create billing and technical tickets with one login. During a project, you can bring your entire organization together with the live project management feature and track active orders. The portal also takes the stress out of billing. With active bill monitoring, FCS proactively sends billing tickets to providers once a billing threshold has been exceeded. Perhaps most importantly, the Client Enablement Portal is backed by a trusted advisory firm that is motivated by long-term relationships. It's a combination that can make a significant impact on your business's greatest challenges. Managing your day-to-day operations can be difficult enough. Don't source your IT needs alone. Let FCS and the Client Enablement Portal be a trusted extension and organizational tool for your IT department.
Let me guess. You're looking for a caterer for that next big party you're wanting to throw. Or maybe you just need some help with some fresh and healthy meals for the family. And I bet you don't have any idea where to start. Well, don't worry, we're here to help. My name is Michael Wards, and I'm the executive chef and owner of the Austin Artisan. We feature boutique fine catering and personal chef services. With our catering, we create unique and personalized experiences using custom seasonal menus. Whether it's that high-end cocktail party or maybe just a nice intimate dinner with some close friends, we are the chef experience everyone's talking about. Personal chef services, we can do that. We deliver custom meals directly to your fridge. From menu planning to the shopping and the cooking, we do it all inside of our closed commercial kitchen, featuring the freshest ingredients, never compromising on taste despite your dietary restrictions. So how do you get started? Click the Contact Us link and let us know what we can do for you. And in the meantime, we'll keep the stoves hot for you.
There you go.
Hit it.
Okay, everybody. So now it's time to transfer our lovely reduction here into a sauce pot, a small or medium-sized sauce pot, because we're going to need that to do other things. So right now, what's happened is we've reduced that incredible wine and the jus that was in this pan to about half of what we put in. So about an ounce worth is what's left, and that's fine. So that comes off for a second. We're gonna wash that in a moment. Now it's time to go in with our jam. So our jam is, there's about a tablespoon, we'll do about a tablespoon and maybe a half there. Lovely. So store-bought is just fine. There's nothing wrong with store-bought. You know, I'm gonna get a little wild with it and add a little bit of port wine. I know, I'm cheating. A little port wine for some structure. Now, we're gonna need, shortly here, we're gonna need some cold butter. Oh, this is gonna be incredible. Back on one. So I'm just gonna let that sit and hang out now for about, actually this whole time. I'm gonna reduce it to low, and I'm going to add some chicken broth, about an ounce of chicken broth, to give it a little bit of structure, a little bit different structure, so it doesn't taste just like red wine and jam. So this is a big shout out to my boy Cornelio Perez, my man Corny. He is a sous chef over at Capitol Grill in Dallas, in the Crescent Court. You definitely know when they open back up, you need to go visit him and go see him. I actually called him yesterday or 2 days ago to kind of bounce off with him. I said, hey, listen, I want to do some kind of sauce that would blend well but not be too overpowering for our white chocolate parsley puree. So we kind of batted it back and forth. So this particular sauce is from his brain. I'm just gonna execute it. So we'll see how it goes. So Corny, if it's bad, it's on me. If it's killer and spectacular, that's on you, my man. Mad love. Hope that you and Julie and Leo are fantastic and doing great. Okay. So we got our aromatics in there. We have our garlic. We have our shallots. I can tell you right now, this is gonna be incredible. Oh man, and I've never done it before. So I'm gonna transfer now over to the other other burner, so that I can use the larger burner for our mushrooms. So I hope you've washed your mushrooms and prepared them, because we're gonna go into the pan basically right now. I think that's all we have left. All right. I'm not doing much to the, I didn't heavily wash this pan, because all it had was wine in it and shallots. Didn't have any meat products, so I'm okay with that, because I kind of do want some of those flavors to be mixed in with my mushrooms. So next we are going, let's see. It's time for cookery, everyone. All right, make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. Yes. So let's do this. Let's take our spectacular thyme leaves here, and we're gonna just deflower our. Oh my God, no! Deflower our thyme stems. So all I want you to do, I'm on here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just take your fingers and very gently, not with your big huge gorilla hands like mine, and just pinch and drag your finger down, and pinch and drag your finger down, so you don't tear the stem off, but you are able to get the flowers off. Deflowering the thyme. So yeah, there we go, perfect. Take this, ooh, see? You'll be very, very delicate with it, because sometimes it will break on you. There we go. So we're using these thyme leaves for our mushrooms. So in a moment, our steaks are going to go in. We'll start sauteing these mushrooms, and getting everything ready to go for our staging, for our plating. All right, so we're almost there. Let's get a little bit more time. I don't want to use too much time because thyme, believe it or not, even though it's sweet smelling, it can be overpowering. So we don't want it to overpower our mushrooms. Take that, and take that. So about 2 pinches worth, if you will. Okay. Get our garlic press out. And we're going to press. Some more. Garlic. Be sure to keep your eye on your sauce. Stir it around a little bit. Make sure that it is jamming with you. And that it's not burning. That's really what we're interested in. Into the pan with our garlic. Now we're going to do some olive oil. Olive oil is important here because we're not going to go super high on our cookery nation. A little taste on our sauce. Shit. Whew. Wow. Corny, great job. We're not there yet, but it's going to be incredible. Okay. If we had shallots, I'd use it. We do. Here's a shallot. Where's the shallot? What'd you do with it? There it is. Yay. Shallot. I don't care about the cut because I just want the flavor. Mushrooms in. No cutting, just washing, just rinsing. Thyme in. Bounce up in my eye. Damn it, Carol Baskin. All her fault. Okay. A little bit more. Going low now, super low on our sauce. A little bit more olive oil. So I did about a tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, steak's in. So this steak here is much larger. So that's going to take about 10, maybe 11 minutes. This one's smaller. So that's going to give us about 7 to 8 minutes before it's perfect medium rare. Now, here's a good rule of thumb. For medium rare, it's the touch, the bounce, the buoyancy of that steak will feel about your lower lip, right? Not like when you press in, you get your teeth, but like when you just press your lip, you feel how it feels. That's about a medium rare, right? This, your nose, that's about a medium. So when it gets that kind of resistance in the steak, that's about a medium. And then when we're up to here, there's no here. There's no here. There's nothing here, but there's nothing here either. Anyway, so what I'm saying, what I'm getting at is we're also going to pull the steaks out a little bit early because they're going to continue to cook on their own residual heat. So 500 degrees or a high broil into the oven. And tell you what, let's do a little bit of chicken broth, chicken broth, excuse me. Yep, just a little bit. A dash of panache and a dash of red wine. I'm using port wine that we used for something a while ago. I forgot what it was. There we go. Time for some pepper, salt. Okay, I want you to get your cold butter out. Get your cold butter, everybody. Cold butter here. Cold butter here. We'll taste our sauce. So if you can see our consistency here is a little bit on the semi-thick side, thicker than like a liquid that it was before. I'm not worried about that there's components and fragments in there because we're going to strain our sauce in just a minute anyway. Okay, taste. What does that mean? It needs a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Salt. Does a full pinch of salt. A little bit of pepper. So A little bit of acidity. I'm tasting acidity from wine, but also acidity from that wonderful blackberry, because it's fresh blackberry from today. All right, hope that you stay with me because we're at the finish line, everybody. We are there. We are there. There we go. So all that's left now is to add a bit of butter. It will be good. So I'm not sure. I don't think did you hear the oven
No.
beep?
Nope.
Okay. So our oven might not have been at full blast yet, and that's okay because there's nothing we can do about it now. So, not to worry. I'm going to put our white chocolate puree in the microwave just so it can not get cold. I'm going to turn my mushrooms over. Excuse me. Wow. Yikes. We are moments away, everybody. Assuming that my oven is on full boil already. Should be. I hope so. If it's not, we're gonna find out. So those mushrooms, I didn't add a whole lot of sauce, a whole lot of broth. I do want them to have a little bit of sauce, a small amount, but not too much. But ultimately, just like rice, mushrooms can take almost an unlimited amount of liquids and fluids. So I don't want to influence the flavor of the mushrooms too much, so we don't add too much broth. But you can add tons of port wine if you want. Not really. Now we're talking. Okay. So, get your cold butter. Cold butter here. I want you to slice down 2 tablespoons. You use your guides here. 2 tablespoons of cold butter. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into that pan where the sauce is. And because it's ice cold or nice and cold, it will not break on us. If your butter is already warm, it's gonna break on you. So instead, we use cold. That way we can increase the chances of emulsification. Heat's going off on our saucepan. And what's going to happen is just continue to swirl it around. It's going to lighten the color a little bit because of the fats and the cream, but it's also going to give us that luxurious thickness to it. So we don't have to add a question. I got a question on Facebook the other day, actually it was yesterday. How can I thicken a sauce without using cornstarch? And you can just reduce your sauce down, and then add butter at the very end when the temperature is off. Because you don't want to, again, warm your butter up that much to where your sauce breaks. There's nothing worse than having broken sauce. That sucks. It really, really does. My big old fat head in the way, are we good?
You're good.
Yay! Fat head not the way. So also, what your butter's going to do is it's going to give your sauce a little bit different complexity. Wow! Son of a...
Hijo.
Hijo. Te voy a lavar mano, boca. You're gonna wash your hand. You don't wash my hand, Mom? Cállate. No me hagas así. Okay, let me get your strainer now. Grab your strainer. Now, you don't need a small strainer, but my strainer is somewhere outside the garage because we're in the middle of a remodel, as I told you before. So I'm just going to strain all the gloriousness into our bowl, our sauce bowl. So what you'll see in just a second when I get back to this sauce is that the viscosity is much lower now, meaning the thickness or the tendency of the fluid to flow is lower because we added that butter in at the very end, and we have also let our wine reduce. I want to take the back end of that strainer and use your spoon. And you don't want to miss that. That's the good stuff right there. Oh, absolutely. Or as Kaden would say, absolutely not. You see how it flows now? It's just really different. Okay, Rob?
Sir. Oh, that's good.
Hell yeah, it is. Because I didn't make it. Corny did. My friend Cornelio did. Corny. All right. Okay, so that's rock and roll. We're almost done here, everybody. I'm going to put this on, put these mushrooms on over here. Just kind of hang out for a second. I'm throwing you a curveball. I didn't put this in your prep sheet. But I have a little bit of Swiss chard that I want to use because I don't want to have just steak and beige colored food. I need a little bit of greenness, something that's a little bit alive. So while we're waiting for, I forgot to check on our steaks. Time for our steaks. Goodness gracious. Mijo, ¿por qué no me hablas? ¿Por qué no me dices? No me avisas. Hi, Rob, you're fired.
Hey, check on your steaks.
Hey, thanks. Late. So, steaks coming out, everybody. So, you see how I'm pressing it here? It's really, we're not there yet. I'm gonna give it like, let's say 2 more minutes before I bring it out and let it continue to cook on residual heat. But it's gonna look incredible, it's gonna taste incredible. All right, we're getting there. It's almost to like the lip consistency or lip buoyancy. All right, everybody, this is a downhill slope now. Okay, let's go a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of butter. Because remember, I'm doing that Swiss chard. I'm going to do like on a medium heat, butter and Swiss chard, and that's it. Let that steam up there for a minute. Let it wilt. And to be honest, we are just gonna, timer, 2 minutes. I have to remind myself to use timer. Is it on me or is it not?
It's over there.
Okay, I have to remind myself to use a timer when I'm with you because I kind of have a habit of not needing to use it myself, so I want to make sure that you have it. Mm-hmm. Touch of salt, not too much. Pinch. Touch of pepper. Now we're going to clear our station down because we're going to get ready for plating. What time is it, Rob?
It is 6:39.
6:39. Wow. Long show today. But trust me, it is so worth it. So worth it. Check on our steaks. Okay, so Rob's is perfectly ready. Go ahead for 1 minute. Turning our mushrooms off. Let those hang out on the side. Just like another 30 seconds for those steaks. Yes, hang out. rest. Gonna pop in the Mac Attack 3 cheese mac and cheese. Mm-hmm. All right, Rob, you ready?
Let's do it.
Ready for the money shot? Yikes. Clean our station down and get ready for plating. Macaroni in. Steaks out. Those are going to hang out for a second, let those rest. Because if we cut, where am I here? If we cut into the steak, just edit that out.
Commercial.
Commercial. If we cut into the steaks right now, all those glorious juices are just going to fly away, and the blood will drain off onto your plate. You might like that, but we've done an incredible amount of work to make this food look just phenomenal. So we're gonna give it like about 5 minutes or less to rest, but that gives us all the rest of the time to plate and to get ready and have a great meal. So let's bring our Swiss chart out. Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you for bearing with me and sticking with me this whole time, everybody. We are at the home stretch. That mac and cheese is in. Now it's time to plate and get after it. So we'll take this moment to say that if you've enjoyed yourself, and you feel that what we've done is to bring value to you and to your life, there's 2 ways that you can help if you would like to. One is if you'd like to donate, you can. The donation goes 100% towards the production value. If you notice, we were able to bring you a much better streaming broadcast. That's because I upped our capabilities here at the house. And all this craziness in the remodel, up the capabilities in the house for us to have some better streaming capabilities and faster internet. Thank you to Google Fiber. But also just the food, what it takes to launch the site and have streaming services and this platform to be able to bring to you, etc., etc. If that's not an acceptable or appropriate thing for you right now, because times are tough, totally understand that. The way we really need your help is if you can share. Tell your friends, send them an email, tell them to go to dinnerwithyves.com, and I'll get them access to all of the prep sheets in advance so they can cook alongside. And share on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all these platforms. But give people a message and say, hey, I really enjoyed this, I like this, and I made some incredible food. I can't wait to see your pictures, so please send me your pictures online. All right, everybody, let's see where we are with the macaroni. All right. Got a little music for me?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Be right there in 1 second. Okay, all right. So intense, so why so serious? All right. Check out mac and cheese. Yeah. Almost there. We're gonna bring my grater back for a second and my cheese and stage up a little bit of that Parmigiano. So I can sprinkle it on the very top of that mac and cheese. Okay, sauce is ready. Steaks are ready. Swiss chard is ready. So let's get our white chocolate parsnip puree. Go back to our work spoons. Time for plating, everybody. Time to plate. I am so excited. So here's how this is gonna go. We're gonna do our vegetables first. We're gonna plate our vegetables, then do our white chocolate parsnip puree, then place our steak, and then do our sauce at the very end. Why? Because the things that are most liquid, the liquids can run anywhere. We want those to be last, so that we can wipe our plate down. So, Swiss chard there. Mushrooms right on top. So your mushrooms would go right there if you didn't have rainbow or Swiss chard, and you weren't supposed to. Remember, I did pull a fast one on you, and that's okay. Don't worry. Don't be mad at me. Yes, that's how we do this. That's how we do it. That's exactly how we do that. That was incredible. Towel off our spoon. Go in for our white chocolate parsnip puree. If I had a gun, a CO2 gun, the air from the CO2 would make this really fluffy, like a pastry gun. Will make it really, really fluffy and even more incredible. But we don't have one, so that's okay. Not a big deal. So we're gonna go down. We got a dollop right there. And then one more dollop. Yep. And our steak is gonna go right there on top of that. The intensity, the silence is killing me.
Can you push that plate slightly forward towards the wall? There we go. Don't fuck up.
Don't fuck up. You just want that sauce to go on the outside. So, let's see. That sauce down. I wish that you could see this. The mac and cheese is bubbling, like just it's oh my. That's why we under. Oh, there you go. You get it? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. That mac and cheese is coming out, and then. Oh, hi guys. No one then. All right. Yeah. And then we put a little bit of Parmesan. Oven is off. And I'm going to slice into my filet mignon so that you can see it. But I don't want to come off of that shot. Put the Parmesan cheese on top. Okay, here's what we're doing. I'm going to slice it into the other filet. That way you can see what a gorgeous and luxurious and perfect medium rare is supposed to look like. I'm gonna slice into mine. Oh yeah. So seared on the outside and warm red throughout. That, you see how it's barely going to like a pink towards the top? That is a perfect medium rare. You get that?
Mm-hmm.
Warm red throughout, seared on the outside. That actually almost looks like a perfect sous vide cook because there's almost no gradation from the top down. Okay, all right, everybody. Well, listen, I hope that hold on, let me check, make sure I had anything. If you have any questions, you're welcome to hit me up in the lounge after the show, which takes place right here in the kitchen immediately after the show. I'm just going to answer your questions if you have any. Listen, I hope that you really enjoy this meal. It's going to be stunning. I hope that you're already tasting and enjoying yourself right now. It's my pleasure to bring this to you. The impetus for the show is always to be of value to you in a very crisis time for our country. And most of the stuff we do is going to be stuff that's very economical, so that you can feed your family of 4 or 6, whatever, on the super cheap. But I wanted to indulge you. I wanted to do some fun stuff. We've done Hawaiian, or we've done Hawaiian Asian fusion with a fish. We've done chicken. We've done great stuff. And today was luxury. So this is all going to be fantastic. And I can't wait to see you, and I can't wait to hear from you, and I can't wait to cook with you. No, to all my friends all around the world, from Europe to Jamaica to South America, to my friends in Singapore. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the little baby's name because I'm on the camera. Anyway, guys, it's a pleasure serving you as always. If you'd like to donate, you can click the donation button. That goes towards putting the show on, and only that. And if not, just please share. Tell your friends about it. My name is Yves, and this has been Dinner with Yves. I hope you have an incredible evening. You stay safe, healthy, and happy. And on the next show, we're going to do an incredible. We're going to go to India now, and we're going to do some wonderful lamb curry, or we can do like a roasted beef curry if you like. It's going to be incredible. Have a great evening. I'll see you Sunday. Cheers.
Is your business short on IT talent? Do you struggle with digital transformation, vendor management, or managing your IT infrastructure, software applications?